Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of Full Steam Ahead. Got one of the guys back in Stebby. He's with me when we are previewing, I guess, opening day eve. You can call it for the Astros. I mean, they just had an opening day for MLB baseball with the Giants and the Yankees. What an ass whooping of a game that was. Giants would be defeated by the Yanks 7-0. But hey, Stebby, nice to see you again, my man.
I know I had to knock the cobwebs off the mic and stuff. I was like, it was just standing. It was the whole time that I wasn't on the podcast with you. It was just in the room, in the corner of the room, just looking at me like the Green Goblin mask. Like, hey, when you gonna get back out there? But
Yeah, I
man,
mean,
it's good to
we
be back. Especially baseball's coming around again. It's the best time of the year, man. Just having baseball damn near every day.
yeah, we just for us personally, I mean, we just both all three of us long off season, just families, just vibing with friends as well, and of course work calls and everything like that. But I mean, it's good to be back with the boys talking baseball. One of our favorite guys is here again, BTA on the Giants from Kevin Cerna. Nice to see him again on the chat. It's been a while, like I said. So yes, it's like the Green Goblin mask looking in the corner, looking at you like, hey, you need to get this mic back rolling and talk some Astros baseball. Um, but yeah, I know for a fact, if I'm not mistaken, that you're going to be out there for opening day. How many opening days have you been to in
Man,
your life, man?
probably only a little bit, bro. Like only like 5 or 6. I haven't really gone to many like that. But obviously now that I'm older, to have the opportunity to be able to go when I want, definitely make it a yearly thing now. Well, if I can, obviously if the schedule works with it and stuff like that. It's
Yeah,
something to definitely try to make a tradition out of.
you got to. You got to get along with the boys and go out there and watch the game. You already have your damn shirt and you're ready. I think that was like last year's shirt, if
This
I'm
is
not
last year's.
mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah, Juan
I
Soto.
was at the stadium today and I didn't see
Give us some
any of
sneak peeks,
these.
man. Come on, you can't just
Well,
hide that
I
from
didn't see
everybody.
any opening day shirts, honestly.
Mhm.
So that's kind of like I don't know. They maybe they're barely gonna put them out later or not. So I mean, hopefully they do have one because I would like to definitely pick one up. I did see some of the new hats that are dropping. Um, I didn't really see anything opening day exclusive wise much. You know what I mean? I didn't really check
Mhm.
that out. I did see the kanji jersey of Imai's. That looked
Yeah.
pretty dope.
You're gonna cop one of those?
Yeah, a little $200. Yeah.
You ain't lying. I'd seen the WBC jerseys. If you wanted
Yeah,
a
the same
name
thing.
on the back of the jersey, it was like 220. And if you were getting it a blank, it was like 180, if I'm not mistaken.
That'll be going for like $80 pretty soon on freaking Fanatics, I'm sure.
I did not know they with the baseball bats. This is
Yeah, the
one of
Maruchis.
the World Baseball Classic bats. They went to Marucci all of a sudden. They used to be Louisville
Yeah,
Slugger. This right here was just $30. I'm
yeah.
like,
Even the pins like 20 something.
they were like
Everything.
15. I
Yeah,
got
I
I
think
got a pin actually right here in front of me.
I
They're
have
like
bought
different
the.
kinds. So there's like this one, World
I
Baseball
think I
Classic
have
with
one of those.
USA, and then like the regular commemorative. I was looking for the Mexico one. I couldn't find one like that, but that's the just the original one. Yeah, and it's like 13, $15.
I
So
got some magnets as well. I had some magnets, so I snagged my some magnets because my grandma loves to put magnets all over the fridge. So I was like, oh, you know what? Let me bring her some WBC magnets. So
you
there was
got
one that
to.
came in like a little 3 pack. Cause I was
Uh-huh.
gonna get like one or and vice versa, but I might as well just get the whole 3 pack. Slap it all over the fridge, get it all decked out. And I was like, that's something I couldn't miss. That's why I went to the first game. I was like, there's never been WBC in Houston. Like this is the first one. I was like,
No,
I have to be there.
you had to. And I mean, the towels that they brought out too. Like, I didn't get
Okay,
to show the
I
last
got one of those as
podcast.
well.
I
I think they
like
gave out
this
a
one
blue one
so.
too.
Yeah, the blue one you really can't see like the
Yeah,
little
the
outline
Daikin Park.
of Dyken Park, but this one, the orange one at least, you could definitely see like the skyline of the ballpark. So,
Yeah,
but nobody wants
I
to hear
got
about
one.
the WBC on that.
Yeah, definitely not. But I'm pretty sure a lot of fans are ecstatic to see about the Waterburger thing going on tomorrow. The whole new Waterburger at the ballpark. People are ready to get paid double basically for what they generally pay regularly at Waterburger. But who's to blame?
It's like for a meal at Waterburger. If you get like a regular Waterburger, just the meal, like the fry and the drink, I think it's like comes out to be like maybe $13.
Yeah.
max 14.
Yeah.
Just the Whataburger itself, if I'm not mistaken, Dyke Park is just literally $14 or
Yeah.
$16, one of those.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hey,
And then not on that too. They also went up on the Margs, I think, a couple
but they're still
dollars.
gonna buy. They're still
Yeah,
gonna buy.
definitely.
You cannot deny that. You know, people are gonna still buy the Margs. What are some other new things at Dyke? Of course.
Then, well, I seen. I'm not sure how legit it is, but I seen that it's going to be coming to maybe Dyken Park apparently, or apparently it is that little 9 inning, nine hot,
Oh
the 9 inning,
yes.
nine beer hot dog thing. I seen that and I was like, man, that sounds like a vibe, but you better be ready to be clocked in all day on the toilet the next day.
So it's, if I'm not mistaken, I saw the price. It was $55, and some teams are doing it around the ballpark. I know Philly's doing it. San Francisco's doing it. The Royals are doing it. The Astros are one of them too. I think the Rockies as well. But if you look at it, and I saw a video today with the Giants like showing
Yeah,
one tall boy, one tall beer
yeah.
will fit all the glasses. The nine, almost all of the nine glasses. It'll just get
Oh,
to
okay.
eight, but that ninth glass they wouldn't fill. So it'd be like a tall boy and a regular size beer.
Beer.
And then the hot dogs, I mean, they look like mini
Little mini weenies.
yeah, like they're almost like
Yeah,
the
the
old
sausages.
Smokies. It's almost like the old Smokies too. Like you go
Yeah.
and grab for like breakfast.
I mean, what do you expect? They're not gonna. It's because if they give you regular full size stuff, then probably gonna end up paying 100 something. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I mean, would
So
you really consider it though, like the 999 challenge with the
nah, I
size of
mean
those dogs
the
and
the
the
actual
little
savages
flights?
that done it before that came even to existence at the ballparks now. I mean, they had full
The
size
Godfather.
dogs and full size beers, tall boys. So I mean, you're definitely getting way hammered on that. So this one's kind of like a little appetizer, but not everybody could be a savage and drink like a lot of us can. So I mean, they got to make it so where the people are not freaking falling asleep in their chairs.
Yeah, that's true. You do not want to fall asleep during the game unless they're up by like 13. They might as well, why not at that point? Um, But we got our little options on the side right there. Astros opening day roster finalized. We'll show you the picture of the whole roster and we'll go over it. Brice Matthews, AJ Blubaugh, two Space Cowboy prospects are on the opening day roster. Talk a little bit more with them. Projected to starting lineup. I know we talked about it from our last episode, but we'll go ahead and talk about what we can look into going into opening day on Thursday. The Los Angeles Angels series be the first series. We're not going to go too in depth with the pitching preview. We'll discuss about some of the matchups and what to look for and what's going to be exciting to see, and then some season predictions to end the show. Have a little fun with it. And we always try to do it at the end, the beginning of the season. Try to throw some predictions, baseball and Astros as well. But Steban, do you want to do the bottom of where they can find us, or you a little rusty and
You
you need
you
me
know
to go
you
do
got
it?
that. You
All
know you
right, all
got
right.
that.
All right, Full Steam Ahead on TikTok, as well as on Twitter and X, FSA Full Steam Ahead on Instagram, YouTube channel as well, Full Steam Ahead, and of course the Spotify and the Apple, the audio platform of our podcast. Like I had mentioned, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts, we are there. Like, rate, um, download, follow, feedback, stars, all that good stuff. So we appreciate the support. We appreciate everybody that has continued tuning in with us each and every night. Like I said, the season's going to be coming on. Of course, we're going to try to do our best to get each series out the way and discuss like what we used to usually do, as well as do some more giveaways this coming season. So stay tuned. Like I said, subscribe, follow, make sure you hit them bells. Then you get our notifications throughout the whole season. So, Steban, I mean, we can go over this opening day roster, and I'll go ahead and put the picture for both of us and for everybody. But I was gonna say, from my 26-man opening day roster, there's only 26 players that make the roster. I only honestly missed out on two. Yeah, and I missed out on one being added. So I'm gonna go real quick. What I had mentioned, I said Hunter Brown, Tatsuya Imai, Christian Javier, Mike Burrows, Lance McCullers Jr. Then we had the debate of should Ryan Wise or Spencer Rigetti be the six man whenever they go to that 6-man rotation.
Yeah.
The relievers, I had Brian King, Roderick Munoz, Brian Abreu, Stephen O'Kurt, AJ Blubaugh, Kai-Wei-Teng, and I had said Christian Roa if Eniel de los Santos did not make the roster due to injury, and sure enough, he did start off the season on the IL. For your infielders behind the plate, you got Yainer Diaz and Christian Vasquez. I was also right with that one. And then the infielders, I had Christian Walker, Isak Paredes, Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, Nick Allen, and I wasn't sure with Jeremy Pena, so we put him to the side just in case. But really got those out really good. And the outfielders were the only part I did not. I just missed one. I mean, I had Jake Myers, Cam Smith, Joey Loperfido, Yordan Alvarez, DH or outfielder, uh, at Taylor Trammell. Taylor Trammell got option to AAA. I was right about Zach Cole being option. I was right about Christian Roa being on the roster because of De Los Santos being out. Spencer Arrighetti was going to be option. I did think he was going to be option. I thought he was going to start in the bullpen just to start the season, but
Yeah.
Houston went ahead and put him in the bullpen to ramp him up as a starter when it comes to that 6-man rotation. I honestly thought Ryan Wise should have gotten a chance to be that last guy in that rotation for the 6-man, but it looks like more than likely he's going to be in the bullpen as a long reliever, which is not a problem. And the only one I did not get on was Brice Matthews. It's not a surprise, but I thought Houston was just gonna, let him start at AAA to continue developing. But I guess Houston saw really good things when he got to spring training. Of course, it was going to be a little tough task for him being an infielder and then starting outfielder in some of these games in spring training. And I'm going to give you this real quick. The offensive line this spring, he played 16 games. It was 9 for 36, which is a 250 batting average. I had 9 hits, 3 doubles, 1 home run, 10 RBIs, 9 walks, 13 strikeouts. Had an on base percentage of 400, slug 417, and an OPS of 817. Esteban, what did you think? What did you see from Brice this offseason that showed that he was capable of starting with the Astros and the opening day roster, and why you think Joe was so comfortable putting him with the guys?
I mean, the kid's just an all-out hustler. You know what I mean? He's real ambitious, and he's always eager to learn something new, to be coachable, to be teachable. So that's something the skipper is always going to want behind their back on the bench for them. You know, somebody that's going to be able to plug in maybe in the outfield here and there, but definitely to give Altuve some days off of rest sometimes, or the days that Correa takes rest and Altuve takes rest. Well, what are you going to do? Put first, for second, and third. You're going to put Nick Allen, and who are you going to put at second? Obviously, Brice Matthews is the guy you want to go to. So it's just to give just self to have more stuff to play with, and that's probably the best option that they had. So I mean, it's a kid that's learning fast as well. It's kind of like the same thing. He's not Cam Smith, but he has work ethic just Cam Smith, like Cam Smith. Whenever I
Mhm.
was there today, you could see that they're just real friendly. They're real talkative. Them two, they're always buddy buddy, and you could tell they're picking each other's brains or teaching each other and just having a good time. Especially being the younger guys on the squad.
Yeah, I think both of them guys really have a bright future. I'm very excited to see what Cam Smith looks like in
Yeah,
his second season with the Astros. Got that rookie season out the way. Now he's knowing
the new
what's to
position
come.
out the way as
New
well.
position out the way, like you said too, and just being able to adapt and adjust through the big league level instead of going through the minors. In college,
I
everything's
think he's I
different,
think he's gonna tear it up, dude.
and I think so too. I think his offensive approach looks way better, at least in the spring games he had at spring training. He looked like a different player. He didn't look like a rookie, honestly.
He got the jitters out the way, and he's just like, I've been here. I'm made for this. This is the reason why I'm here. Like no need to try to be Mister, superstar, right? Just let it happen. Just do what you do, and let it come to you how it comes.
Yeah, and this is what Joe Espada had to say about Bryce Matthews regarding of what he's done this spring. And this quote: Bryce, he knows he can control the strike zone. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark. I love the speed, and his goal is, and he's heard me say this before, we just need to get Barrel on the ball. If he gets Barrel on the ball, puts more balls in play, he is going to find himself doing some damage with power and also on the bases. He's very dynamic, very explosive. It's getting him to make quality of contact so he can be productive. And this was for me, it was a debate if he should start the season in AAA or he shouldn't just be on the opening day roster. And the reason why I say that because in the beginning, when it came to Astros Fan Fest, um, I was very curious to see who was going to take over that utility role for the Astros because Mauricio Dubon just recently got traded. That was usually a guy that Joe can go to in the infield and the outfield. So um, that's why I was like, okay, well, let's see. Let me ask. I asked Joe when it came. I even asked Dana Brown as well when it comes to finding out where they're going to put these players. Is he going to kind of take over utility roles? Is he going to play some outfield? Because last year he did play some outfield as well in the center field. So for me, it was just an up in the air kind of thing. And the biggest thing, what Joe said at that time at Astros Fan Fest, was the athleticism that he presents. And sure enough, in the quote, he even talks about the speed that he shows, the power that he can get. So for the Astros, it just helps that balance too. If you need a guy to go in the outfield, and let's say it's a late inning game situation, subs are already out, then you could put Brice in the outfield. You can have Nick Allen in the infield, vice versa. I think they're just going to limit a lot of Jose Altuve playing left field this season,
Yeah.
but don't be surprised if
Which
he
they
gets a game
should,
or two. Yeah,
especially because Yordan's back. So especially at home, there's no reason why Yordan should not be playing and left at home.
yeah, and that's going to be the interesting part because when it comes to the starting lineup, which we'll get here in a minute, like what is this lineup going to look like? Because you got a guy in Paredes that hits really well at Dyken Park, had a really good offensive season for the Astros last year until he got hurt. So I'm very curious how Joe's going to write his lineup for tomorrow, at least for opening day, to see who's going to start some games, who's going to be in what position. Because Alvarez too, I mean, I'm pretty sure he still wants to play left field. I'm not speaking for him, but this is just my opinion. I think he would still want to play some games in left and continue playing the field. I think his average as a hitter when he's on the field was better when he was a DH, if I'm not mistaken, career wise. So don't take him out of the question. Like I said, without Tuve, less likely you're going to see him in the outfield, but don't be surprised if he gets a game or two in left.
Yeah.
Uh, However, you still, like I said, now you got Brice Matthews on the roster, and maybe he's going to play some games in left field and even in center too. They need to put him there.
Yeah, but you see the thing about Paredes too. He could play, pretty much the whole infield besides short as well. So it's like maybe some days that Walker's off, you throw him there now instead. And then, you got Christian Vasquez back on the squad too. Which to
Mhm.
mention, speaking of catchers, I was kind of surprised with the Astros DFA Cesar Salazar as well.
Well, the reason why the Astros DFA'd him because he had no options anymore. Like he
Yeah,
had no options, so the last thing they had to do was waive him. It's either putting Christian Vasquez in starting AAA
yeah,
or put Salazar on the opening day roster. And either way, let's say Vasquez is tearing it up with Sugarland,
yeah,
and Houston sees that, and they're like, you know what, we're going to bring him up. We're going to send Salazar down. They really can't even send Salazar down because he has no more options.
yeah,
So he's going to be waived. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to clear him off waivers because he's going to be designated. He's already been designated for assignment.
yeah.
So um, another player I want to talk about real quick is Christian Roa. Had a really good spring. If nobody did not know, he is from the Houston area. 2020 Cincinnati Reds round two overall pick 48 and went to did not know this Texas A&M. Did you know that, Stubby?
Mm-mm. I didn't even know he was a Houston native. That's cool.
Career he's only played with one team with the Miami Marlins, but spring training this year 93 ERA in 9 games, pitched 9 2/3, gave up 5 hits, only giving up 1 run, no walks, and 13 strikeouts, an opponent batting average of 147. And I thought this was the Roa that had played with the Brewers. I thought he was already a veteran, but I did not do a good job of my research. But I mean, the kid had a really good spring. Can't really do nothing about it. I think he's the only non-roster invitee, if I'm not mistaken,
You know his
to
picks
make
mix
the
or no?
opening day roster. Say it again.
What's his picks Mitch? His picks Mitch.
His pitch, I would have to go to baseball Savant real quick. But I mean, he basically proved himself like he's able to be on the
Big league
opening day
roster.
roster and that he's capable of pitching on the big league level. I did not know if De Los Santos was gonna have enough time, and this is a good question from one of our good guys from the Astros, one of the writers from Pelota Cubana, Javier Gonzalez. I was surprised that De Los Santos started the season on the IL. He seemed fully recover after his last outing on Monday. I'm pretty sure they're just probably going to be ramping him up a little bit more. I think when De Los Santos gets ramped up, looks a little bit more cleaner, look a little bit more smoother on the mound. More than likely, he's gonna get brought up to the Astros, and then more than likely, Rowe is gonna go down to AAA. But for the sake of not trying to rush pitchers back, I think that's why the Astros went ahead and gave Christian Rowe the spot on the opening day roster and let De Los Santos continue um, to ramp up because he did have an injury in the beginning of spring training. This is pitch mix step on real quick: sinker, slider, four seam, and changeup. That's what he throws in his arsenal. Top 8% of MLB. Good percentile on the max exit velocity on there's a 104.3, so not bad. Ground ball percentage was about 50. Fastball velo sits about 96.5, so about 96, 97 miles per hour. So, I mean, I'm this kid, like I said in the beginning, just proved himself that he could still pitch at the big league level. Non-roster invitee, and that's kind of like you have nothing to lose kind of thing for these type of guys, these type of players. And sure enough, he just did that, and like I said, pitched really well in spring training to give him a good shot at on the opening day roster.
Yeah, another person I'm pretty interested too is the other guy, the Kai-Wei-Teng.
Yeah, Kai-Wei-Teng and Joe, I'm not Joe, Dana had mentioned it before they had taken off to spring that he will
I
get
knew he came with problems. You know what I mean? Before they said his command wasn't there with the Giants before, so that
correct.
was his issue before. So I'm not sure if the Astros might have polished him up a little bit, or if we're gonna see those issues, unravel themselves during the season. That's to come. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at Teng's real quick his stats from the Giants last season.
I think he had. I
29.
think he
This
had like
is
a mean changeup or something like that.
he has a good slider. I know that for a fact. He got some good movement on that. But his stat that the key one right here is 29 and two thirds innings pitch and 17 walks.
Right, that's
11 innings pitch in 2024, eight walks. So that's what Houston, of course, that was the biggest thing for him. He has good movement on his off speeds. Is it can he limit the walks?
yeah.
And in spring training, it wasn't really bad. There was a game I know he had struggled with command. Finished with a 2.53 ERA, 10 and two thirds, six walks. That's still a little high, but I mean the Podium batting average is a .88. It's really not bad. Seven strikeouts as well. With him, it's just honestly, it's just his command. If he can get his command down and be consistent and not leave any type of pitches over the plate, then he could honestly be a secret weapon for the Astros bullpen. Really, Anthony, I miss it. It was just so this dude. Richard, guess the pod's more important than Ford, of course. You want to really say that? Look at this guy. Holy so
Oh, holy moly!
holy moly, bud. God, we're getting all the love. We're getting all the love. Shout out to our guys. Shout out to our friends, man. Really
You guys are doing good for me.
appreciate. Yeah, I really appreciate the support. What's one guy that you think, Stebby, that's gonna make an impact on this roster? We talked about Smith. We talked about Matthews.
Oh,
AJ Bluebaugh is a really good pitcher.
without a doubt is gonna be Mike Burrows, dude.
Mike
Mike,
Burrows. I love it. Love
yeah,
it.
that dude, that dude's nice. He's solid. And I remember one of the first times the Astros faced him over there, dude. He was just dotting everybody up with the changeup, like disgusting. But a guy that I'm really hoping for in his last little ride of this contract is McCullers, man. I hope he could do something good this year, at least for his last year, may possibly with us or possibly even being a player. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, because nobody knows what his future looks like. He himself included. He doesn't know what his baseball career looks like after this season.
Yeah.
But Burrows, like you were mentioned, 12 2/3, not giving up a run, not giving up a run in 3 or 4 starts, and then his fifth start, 18 innings. I mean, this just in total, 18 innings, giving up 13 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 walks, 17 strikeouts. Opponent batting average 200. Um, this is a guy too that works quickly and doesn't really remind me of Framber Valdez, but just gets on the mound as soon as he gets the ball over the plate, catcher throws it back um, to the pitcher, which is in Burrows, gets on the mound quick and starts going again. So he's very quick when he gets to his stuff. I agree with you on that. I'm really excited to see what he looks like for the Astros this season, especially for Houston. They're going to have him for, if I'm not mistaken, 4 or 5 years with team control since that trade. They had to give up Anderson Brito, had to give up Jacob Melton, a 3-team trade. And it looks like, honestly, it looks like it's paying off for Houston so far. But the Astros won't officially know that until he actually pitches at Daikin Park, which is going to be happening in this 4-game series.
And then Imai, well, you already know what Imai is possibly going to be able to do. Like, there's the hype's definitely there. you know,
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. Let's see. I'm just looking at some other players.
I would
Christian Vasquez,
definitely,
like,
I would like to see how Loperfido is going to do back in the Astros jersey. He just loves the culture here in Houston, and also because he was able to go on a postseason run as well with the Blue Jays. So that's good
mhm,
experience for him. So, you know, definitely hope that he could keep the whiffs down because he tends to whiff a lot. But if he
yeah,
can control that, the glove is there and it plays well. I'm sure at Minute Maid. I mean,
really good
Daikin.
spring. Really good spring, not to mention 17 games, had 13 hits, one double, one home run, 6 RBI, 7 walks, only 9 strikeouts with 3 stolen bases, 317 batting average, 832 OPS. Yeah, he had a really great spring. And I can see this guy getting more playing time. It could either be in center field, it could be in left field. I think his more specialty is going to be in the corner outfield
Yeah,
spots. So
definitely.
I
He
can
played
see
it right
him,
in Toronto.
yeah, I could see him more playing left with Houston, especially let's say they start Alvarez and the Astros are winning 4-2 in a late game situation, the 8th or 7th inning. Bringing a defensive sub would be Loperfido. I think it'd be a good fit. Let's say Jake Myers needs a day off. You could put Loperfido or really Cam Smith too in center field or Brice Matthews. This is what I think the Astros are so good with is the versatility. They're young, not to mention, and they have the versatility to put these guys in different positions throughout the game.
Yeah, and I hope Bryce could keep it up because I know somebody else is out there that's hungry is going to be wanting to take his spot, which is, Shea Whitcomb, somebody that tore it up for Team Korea and
Yeah.
WBC as well. So, best believe I'm pretty sure when he gets back to the spring training, he's probably going to be coming in hot over there and with the Space Cowboys. And that's another guy that plays the middle infield.
Yeah. And last but not least, before we move on, unless you have another player in mind, I'd say Christian Vasquez. And when we talked about like in the early part of the offseason, the Astros were going to have to figure out who they're going to have as a backup catcher. And I said this in the last pod that I'm still, there's a good support for Cesar Salazar because he knows the pitching staff. He's been with the organization so long. So I thought he would have gotten a shot, and which he did this spring. Of course, the Astros too have to have that back pocket in mind of should we go get somebody, especially missing out on Victor Caratini, which he signed with the Twins. Next thing you know, Jonah Hine signs. I forgot where he signed. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Phillies or the
Yeah, I
Rays.
believe you think he's a Philly.
I think so too. Like I said, I don't have it right in front of me, but Heim had re-signed with signed with another team,
Oh, no,
and
he
then
signed with the Braves.
the Braves. Okay,
Yeah.
and the Braves got three: Sean Murphy, Drake Baldwin, and then
Yeah.
Jonah
And
Heim.
then
That's an
Jonah Heim.
interesting.
Which that means maybe Pine might possibly be a DH guy or
Could be.
could be because he's not definitely gonna play first. Matt Olson got that locked down.
Yeah, most definitely. And then, like I was mentioning, Christian Vasquez. That was my other guy. I had three guys. It was Caratini, it was Jonah Hyman, it was Christian Vasquez. And I think it's honestly a good fit for Houston. He's a veteran, continues to help Yonder Diaz. He's caught some of these guys before. Still got it. If you've seen some of these games that he's been playing for in the spring training games for the Astros, that throw down to second still quick. So he's very quick with his pop time. The bat's still there too. If you've seen the WBC and even seen one of the games with the Astros, the bat's there. I think even though he batted, I think a one something in spring training for the Astros this season. But then again, he really didn't have a lot of games to play. Let me see, 15. He only played 4 games with Houston. Only got 9 at-bats, 2 hits, 222 average. 4 strikeouts, not to mention too. So
And to mention, he did catch a no hitter for us in 22.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. He knows Christian Javier. Maybe that battery kind of comes back to life with him and Vasquez, both Christians, not to mention, just different ways of spelling their first names. Um,
There's
but
no
though,
Abreu, but no longer Montero, no longer Presley. But Presley is
yeah,
back, but for the Space City Houston Network.
Space City Home Network as a pre and post game analyst, um, which was interesting when they announced that. Not to mention, I
Yeah, a lot of
because
people, a lot of people in the comments were going crazy, like, "Wait, what? We just brought him back?" And then they looked at the fine print, basically saying that he's coming back as a commentator, analyst,
yeah,
and a lot of people were like in shambles, like, "No, no way, you brought this guy back." You know what I mean? And I was like, "Hey, man,
I
let
thought
him
the Ryan
breathe."
Presley era was over,
Yeah,
but yeah, I think Christian Vasquez would pair up really well with Yonder Diaz. He gets to pick another brain. He's already picked Maldonado's. He's been with Victor Caratini. Now he's going to be with Christian Vasquez. Not to mention 3 Puerto Rican catchers. Can we put that elephant in the room real quick? Martin and Caratini and now Vasquez.
yeah.
Um, Even though he's Dominican. However,
Caratini was a kind of sad one to get rid of. He just his
I
energy
he
was
fit
just
he
didn't look.
honestly fit well with Houston, but
Yeah.
the playing time, honestly, he could have been a starter. Like
Oh, definitely.
he could have
And
been a starter
I'm
last year
sure
for
you'll
every
probably
team.
hear that name a lot this year. Not a lot, but he'll definitely be out there on maybe some highlight reels, homers or stuff like that. Because
Has a
he's
really
just a
good
good
bat.
player. Yeah,
Has a really good bat, especially in some games if you need to put switch hit situations, righty lefty, lefty righty kind of thing. He
yep,
can match
yep.
up really well in any particular way. But you got anything else before we move on to our opening day lineup real quick, Stevie?
No sir.
All right, let's get to it. Opening day lineup. This is what I had mentioned the last episode on the left of this screenshot. The Astros without Jeremy Pena. The right side of the picture is with Jeremy Pena in the lineup. So this on the right side, obviously, Jeremy Pena is going to be on the opening day roster. This is who I had projected as the lineup to look like. Steban, you can make your adjustments if you like. You can say if you like it, you like it. But this is who I would think the Astros and Joe Spada will go with. It'd be Jeremy Pena at short, Jose Altuve batting second, Isaac Paredes batting third at the DH, Yordan Alvarez being fourth, Carlos Correa batting third, not batting third, playing third base, Christian Walker at first base, Yonder Diaz at catcher, Cam Smith in right field, and Jake Myers at center field. I can make a little adjustment right now. So Debbie, I want to hear you first before I say if I want to put this player here and move this player there.
Uh, Honestly, that looks pretty solid right there. And the way you have it set, that's kind of something similar that I would move with. Maybe, yeah, I'd definitely keep Myers in the ninth, and you could probably bounce around with the swap of Yiner and Cam, depending on how the season progresses. Maybe
Mhm.
Cam's bats a little harder than Yiner. Yiner might start off slower. You could probably fiddle with that. But
Yeah.
as of that, man, that's pretty solid. I mean, maybe no, I don't see Paredes going any lower than the 3 spot, really.
Yeah, that's right now what I was looking at was
But if anything, you could
Paredes
swap
moving.
the Jordan and Paredes as well
Okay,
too.
you're listening to what I'm about to say then. Isak and Jordan, that's what I was looking at right now. Maybe you could flip those guys. Um Alvarez in the 3 spot,
Yeah, just so you don't
Paredes in the
have
4
three
spot.
consecutive righties. You know what I mean?
Correct. Exactly. And that's why I just saw right now. I was like, man, maybe you could put Alvarez really in that 3 spot and then move Paredes in that 4 spot. But of course, at the same time, too, you got to mention Paredes isn't going to be the DH all the time. Alvarez is not going to be playing left field all the time. But this is what we're going with for opening day. If I had to make just one change for opening day on this lineup, it'd just be Paredes and Alvarez. I think Correa would look good in the 5 spot, Christian Walker in the 6 spot, Yonder Diaz in the 7 spot. If this lineup is healthy, Steban, and this is the lineup, let's say this is for game one of a wild card matchup, a DS CS World Series. Houston has a pretty great offensive lineup to go against any other team.
Yeah, definitely open it up with some speed, and you open it up with somebody that's going to be gritty, and then you open it up with somebody that's going to possibly foul off 8 pitches on the pitcher,
Yeah.
and then probably take a yard or just hit a random double.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah,
and
that line was pretty nasty because you go from speed, then you go to all around bat, and then you go to kind of a poolside guy, and then you go to a power hitter, followed by another power hitter, followed by another power hitter, and then
and
you
that's
just
the
kind of
that's what Houston's lineup right there. If I would say 3, but I think Jordan's going to be 3, so I'm gonna say
yeah.
4, 5, 6, the middle part of that order. If Carlos Correa could continue hitting like how he did the second half as soon as he got traded to Houston, if Christian Walker could be hitting how he did in that Dodgers series at Dodger Stadium, or even the second half, he had a really decent second half of the season
I think he's gonna
offensively.
be. I think he should be pretty well off this season, especially because he's already over the Houston jitters of like first getting to this new ball club, not really
Mhm.
knowing nobody, not really knowing a lot of things and this and that, or how the scheme is ran here. Now he knows how it's the H Town way. So I,
He's
I
telling
think
me.
he'll be nice and settled in and feel more at home. More like of a home ballpark now. When he first got here, it's like it still feels brand new to me.
Yeah, what I'm looking for too, since you said Walker, I'm gonna counter on you on that with Yiner. I think Yiner needs a good offensive season. I think the Astros are looking for Yiner from 2023. You can even say it's 2024 too. Yiner, whenever he got his games, I mean, 23 home runs, 60 RBIs in 104 games, outstanding. 24 comes, it wasn't really bad. 16 home runs, 84 RBIs. The power was a little bit lost. However, substituted with the RBI production that he got, 84 RBIs is really not bad.
I
Though
think my
last season,
prediction though, I think Walker gets to 30 this season with us.
okay, we,
30,
we got
30
that in the
home runs.
predictions. We're gonna lock that in for the predictions for Steban. And then real quick, last season for Yiner, 20 home runs, 70 RBIs. So for Diaz, what I'm looking for is that RBI production. Can you hit with runners in scoring position, which he kind of struggled last season with? However, can he do that this season with guys on second and third, runner on third,
Yeah,
runner
he
on
needs to be a
second?
better situational hitter because sometimes he just
Exactly.
goes out there and just swings at 1, 2, and 3.
And the power's there. He has the power. He has the contact too. When the ball connects with that bat,
Yeah, it
it,
comes
it
off
goes a
pretty
long
fast.
way.
Yeah, it goes
It
pretty
goes a
fast.
long way.
Yeah, I was there
However,
today, and dude, he was just easily putting him on the tracks.
yeah, and that's the only thing. Can the discipline be discipline? Can it just be the way his vision looks, the way the vision looks at the plate? Can he not chase out of the zone? That's
Yeah,
the
because
only
he
part of
tends to
Yiner's
get
game for
sloppy.
me.
He definitely tends to get sloppy with the bat because it's more of an anticipation where he's like, okay, I see runners, like, oh, let me hit a home run, or I got to bring them in. You know what I mean? Instead of just taking it step by step and try to stop trying to anticipate the home run. Like, you know what I mean? In my opinion, he's probably already thinking like, what am I gonna do when I hit the when I round the bases, or you know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
he's already too ahead of himself sometimes, and that's what leads to anticipation and swinging at stuff that he doesn't really want to swing at.
yeah. Yiner, looking at the strikeout percentage and walk percentage real quick. Last season, strikeout percentage was 16.8, pretty close to a great percentile. The walk percent was bad, 2% being poor, 3.5%. 2024 was literally the same thing. The walk rate was at 3.9%, strikeout rate 17.3, and then 2023, the walk rate. So just being patient at the plate too, not chasing out of the zone and swinging at good pitches for Yiner. That's literally, if Yiner could do that, that's right there recipe to success. Being able to lay off pitches out of the zone, connected with the pitchers and with great contact and great power, and being patient at the plate. That's literally the recipe of success for Yonder Diaz offensive season this year. So
One
we're
question
good.
too.
Go
Do you
ahead.
think we could possibly see Yordan get into the 30s again?
As home runs,
Yeah.
I got a good prediction for you in a minute, son. So yes, to answer your question real quick, yes, we'll talk more on the predictions when it comes to Yordan Alvarez and the home run total. Though, let's move on real quick to the Angel series preview. 4-game series with the Halos. The Astros have always played really good against the Angels, even at Angel Stadium too. Thursday, 3:10, Jose Soriano starting for the Angels, Hunter Brown starting for the Astros. Friday, you got a 7:15 start time. Yusei Kikuchi, a former Astro, will be on the mound. Mike Burrows is going to be the second pitcher for Houston. Saturday, 6:10, and Sunday and 1:10. The Angels have to be determined guys. They haven't yet to announce who they're going to start for those two games. But for the Astros, they already announced their rotation for this series. Saturday will be Christian Javier, and Sunday, I-45 debuted for Tatsuya Imai. Stebby, you're going to be there at opening day. Give me
Yeah.
give me 3 takeaways you want to see, or key predictions, or key whatever you like to call them, for the Astros to
Well,
get a win and play well on opening day.
definitely would love to see an opening day homer from Jordan. Would love to see Hunter go 7 for sure with no runs. Um, would like to see Cam Smith do something out there as well, and
Okay.
maybe even a home run for Walker too. That would be nice. But if not, I predict could be a 5-2 game.
5-2.
Yeah.
So you see 7 scoreless for Hunter Brown then.
Yes.
Okay, I like the prediction. I like
But
the prediction.
Astros definitely have to get to Soriano because definitely I think the Astros had a little bump in the hill with him before in previous starts. So, hopefully the bats don't start off cold and, you know, we don't want a repeat of last year, leaving 30 runners on base every game.
Yeah, and that's what Houston really needs to go into this season. 2 new hitting coaches. They have to, and I'm not speaking for the hitting coach, I'm speaking for like Houston themselves. Runners in scoring position, situational hitting. They got to do a better job this season compared to last season. You're saying with Jose Soriano, and yes, you are absolutely correct. Soriano in 6 appearances against the Astros, Steban, he is 2-0 with an ERA of 104 and
Yeah.
22 strikeouts. So he pitched really well last season against Houston in both starts, and one being at home, one being at in Anaheim.
And
13 and 2/3, 4 hits, giving up 1 earned run, giving up a total of 6 walks. And does it have the strikeouts on here? 18 strikeouts.
yeah,
Wow.
I'm telling you, he dotted them boys. I mean, he has nasty movement too. I'm not gonna lie, and there's obviously some velocity behind it, but it's just also as well. The Astros as a team were kind of having really bad situational hitting and just swinging at some ugly stuff last season as well.
I'm trying to see who scored that one lone run for for the
It
Astros.
might have been a long ball.
That nah, it would
Oh,
have said
it would have said
Luis Guillorme was with the Astros still.
yeah,
Let's see. No, Christian Walker RBI single.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
probably
Angels
not
of
a good
course are
off
going to
of
be
a walk.
scrappy,
Yeah, they definitely will, but you still can't take them lightly. I mean, obviously
you
they were
can't,
able to beat us last season.
and exactly what you said. The Astros just cannot play to the competition.
Yeah,
You just cannot. You know you're a better team. And don't get me wrong, the Angels are still going to be good. They got a new coach. They had a manager now, new hitting coach as well. Got some new pitchers. They got a new pitching coach too. Not to mention Mike Maddox from the Rangers went to LA, so that's just more power for them. I think I've always said this, doing this podcast for a while now. Mike Maddox is one of the best pitching coaches in MLB. So
Yeah.
having Jose Soriano, having Grayson Rodriguez, who's struggling right now with the command. Alec Manoah is another guy that's been struggling with command. You still got Yusei Kikuchi over there with that nasty changeup. Don't don't sleep on the Halos. I'm not saying they're going to finish first, second, or third in the division, but they will be a team to kind of ruin your season, and that's what the Astros will be looking to prevent to do this year with the guys with the Halos this year.
And then Rendon just still robbing money for the Halos, and
Hey,
not even gonna play as well.
that's one way you can do it, I'm guessing. But yeah, that for him, he hasn't played.
In a
He
while,
hasn't
yeah.
honestly played a game. I'm guessing since 2024, maybe 23. Really, if you want to do your research,
They definitely took Moncada back. I mean, dude, honestly, the Angels are not a team to sleep on.
that's what
You
I'm
know,
saying. It's
you
not a
got
bad
Zach
team.
Neto who's really well,
Yep.
Shanwell who's really well.
Yep.
Obviously, Trout's gonna be Trout, and not to mention they did pick up George Soler.
Jorge Soler.
Yeah, so I mean,
Joe Adele had a good
I don't
season
know if you
last year.
remember, but he's the one that pretty much sent that ball out of orbit here with the
Joe,
Braves.
yeah, like I was saying, Joe Adele too had a really good season last year. Finally, the Angels were looking for that top prospect in him, and then not to mention Logan O'Hoppe. I feel like a
Man,
lot of people
that
sleep.
dude's a stud, bro.
Everybody sleeps on him as an offensive player. He's really good with the stick. He's not a bad catcher as well, but he's
Yeah,
been plagued with a bunch of injuries.
when I see him like his build in person, it's like that's kind of what like a catcher should look like. You know the way
Uh,
he's built, just big legs, the height's there, pretty good power. You know what I mean? He just looks like an all
yeah,
around catcher. Looks like the dude's a guy. He's basically a guy. You know what I mean? He's a dude.
yeah, most definitely. Before we move on to the injuries, I will say, and we've said it earlier in the show, well, who you're excited to see pitch. My Burrows, that was my guy. I'm gonna go with Tatsuya Imai, even though Christian Javier's on there too, Hunter Brown's on there, but Imai, I think a lot of Astro fans are really excited to see him how he plays out for this Houston rotation. A guy that mentioned that he wants to take down the LA Dodgers, that he wants
Yeah,
to go to somewhere that doesn't have a Japanese presence. And for Houston, getting one of those guys,
it's
the
big.
Japanese
It's
market,
big.
it's huge. It's going to be huge for the future of the Astros organization
Yeah,
too to
because then
go.
more people are gonna want to come in the farms, or more agents that want to get signed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so I'm excited to see how he pitches. He had a really good spring. He had not to mention, I mean, he had good seasons over there with the K, not KBO, the I get mixed with him and Weiss, but with the Japan, I can't remember the Japan baseball league,
The MPB or
MPB.
something like that.
Yeah, there it is. So
KGB. We're talking about
not
Russia.
HEB. No, no, no. We're not talking about HEB now. No, no. One of the
Hey,
best stories in
speaking about
Houston.
HEB, you ready for that new commercial to
The
come out?
commercials are coming out soon. They are coming out soon. Correa is making his return, joining. It's funny. Kyle Tucker had 1 year stint with them. Dubon had a 1 year stint. Altuve and Pena have been there for a while. I mean, Altuve, of course, been there for the longest. But back to Imai real quick. Yeah, I mean, just seeing him pitch that split finger mix that he has too. I'm ready to see the pump with him when he gets off the mound, pumping with his fists coming out, shake the guy's hands and everything like that. He's just a joy. When you look at him, he just looks like he just enjoys playing the game. The competitiveness is going to be there still, but being like energized, happy being off the mound. Of course, when you don't have a good game, you're not going to be happy, obviously. But big situations, that's a guy that you want to energize the dugout when there's a tie game, seventh inning. Your big bats are coming up to play, and you might just got out of a bases loaded jam with a double play. And obviously, he's going to be coming out yelling, screaming, and pumping his fist in the air. So I'm really excited to see how he's gonna play for the Astros this season.
Yeah, I'm really glad the Astros got a pretty much a Japanese household name, because you see the Cubs, they went out and got Imanaga.
Hmm.
Dodgers get Yamamoto, they get Shohei, they get Roki, which Roki still hasn't lived to his potential since the
Agree.
first time we seen him in the WBC.
Hmm.
Then also, you see guys like Kodai Senga as well,
Yep.
with the ghost fork. So it's like, everybody kind of has their own little superpower Chinese guy, put away. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's definitely cool and definitely bring different culture diversity into Houston. Have more Japanese people coming around, or might see some food get thrown out there on the concourse, or some type of theme night. Maybe
Yeah.
anime or just
Oh, they
something
got they
different.
got anime night. They got
Oh
anime
yeah,
night this year. So
which that's something I finally got into. I mean, not really the real anime. I watched the One Piece live series, so it's like
uh
the non, cartoon one. So it was pretty interesting. But everybody's like, "Oh, you're not watching the real thing." Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Hey, bro, look, don't, it's just
it's the same thing with me.
yeah."
I
But
can't. I'm trying to get into anime, but I just can't. I
yeah,
don't know
I
why.
just never was into it either when I was little. But yeah, this is gonna be a very exciting season, and definitely would love to try to go make it on that Sunday game as well, just to see the I-45 debut. The one that's gonna, I was thinking about going Friday too, but honestly, it sounds better sitting on my couch watching that one because every time, whenever Kikuchi comes on TV, my grandpa just can't bear but laugh and say Coochie every time when he hears it. So he just sits there and starts giggling.
You crazy, Stevie. You crazy, man. It's all
But
right.
that's
It's the
hilarious.
opening. It's the opening weekend for the Astros.
Yes, sir. But
Oh,
anyways, it's a good series that's coming up. It's always fun to see Mike Trout, come back in and play in Houston.
and which not to mention, he struggles when he plays the Astros though too. Like
Yeah.
he can't hit at Dyken Park for some reason. So
It's been a while since he hit good. I remember whenever he got to his 100th career home run, he hit two of them when it was Dan Minute because I remember I went to the game and I was right there in the cardboard box with my mom and he hit one to right center and then the other one I couldn't forget. It was like literally like two rows over my head and I was like, damn, just a little bit shorter and I could have got his 100th career home run.
you could have jumped. You should just jump and dive for the ball like
I
all these
also
other
remember
fans that
Stevie
do.
was like 4-4. But let's go ahead and move on to these Astros injuries, which something that always continues to hunt the Astros.
Hmm.
Josh Hader will be on the 15-day IL with left bicep tendonitis, which that's not something to play with. Tendonitis is a very annoying pain to have in your arm.
Hmm.
Um, Bennett Souza as well placed on the 15-day IL with left oblique strain. Zach DeZenzo placed on the 10-day IL with right elbow strain. Rynel Blanco, Nate Pearson, and Hayden Wesneski as well placed on the 15-day IL, recovering from right elbow strain. Eniel De Los Santos placed on the 15-day IL with the right knee strain. And then Brandon Walter placed on the 60-day IL, recovering from left elbow surgery. So you got a lot of down pitchers, and whenever a lot of these guys are coming back, Astros are definitely going to have to make a lot of decisions on who's going to be going back to the minors and who's going to be on the big league roster. Because these guys are big league roster ready as well. Not to mention, Arrighetti as well starting in AAA, which is somebody that needs to be on the big league rosters.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of questions regarding when these guys do come
And
back.
you might see some trades going on too with these guys.
That too.
They're having a lot of depth in the pitching. Depending how the season goes, the bats might not be there, and they might need a trade for a bat. And then also, something that's interesting too is Pena as well. Depending on how he plays, do you see the Astros shopping him in before his contract?
Ooh, little hot take right there. Did you think they're going to shop him?
You never know. You never
Never.
know.
Oh,
Depending how he
Stevie
goes.
putting his GM hat on now. Look at him. Look at him coming back. I think De Los Santos will be the first guy to be coming off this IL, and that's why I said I think Christian Rowe would be the odd man out of that
Odd man
bullpen.
out, yeah, definitely.
But of course, you're going to get Josh Hader soon. I think he will be coming back beginning or mid part of April. You don't want to rush him, but that's an important pitcher to have in your bullpen, especially as your closer. Bennett Souza, them obliques, them are a tricky diagnosis for trying to figure out how many days they're going to be missing, how many weeks they're going to be missing. Oblique injuries in general are just hard to diagnose and hard to figure out when they're going to come back. But this is what Houston did in the offseason. They went to go and grab pitchers off the market. They got Nate Pearson. He's still recovering from his surgery in his elbow. But then, like
That's
I was
another
saying,
Cub as well, right?
Yeah, he came from the Cubs, but like I was mentioning, they went to get Ryan Weiss. They got Tatsuya Imai. They went to go get Mike Burrows. They added on so much pitching depth. That was the number
Yeah,
one thing that killed Houston last year was not having enough pitching. And this year they made sure to have enough. But just wait till those guys come back. Blanco, Wisniewski. Um, you can still throw Pearson. Walter probably be a guy that won't be coming back till August if I had to mention. But you got to remember too, when these guys come off Tommy John surgery, them first couple starts, they're not going to be just
oh
coming out
yeah,
throwing gas, and commands are going to be all good and looking like they're great for regular season form. They're still going to have to adjust in some games, see what pitches are working well, and see the velocity on their pitches too, their command. So don't expect for them guys to just come back and start being an automatic like success for the Astros rotation.
yeah.
Like they're just gonna just do well because remember Christian Javier last year, it took him a while. Luis Garcia played 2 or 3 games and then he got hurt again. Jose Urquidy, another guy too. So it's kind of like you got to be patient with these guys when they come back. You won't see Ronel Blanco and Hayden Wisniewski maybe get into the right form where they want to be late August or early September, depending on where they're at during this season on their rehab schedule.
And I'm pretty excited too to see Wesneski because he had a pretty good little start. Kicked off pretty hot with the Astros, and then ran into some bad luck and had to get shut down. So, which is a guy that likes the Houston culture as well.
Yeah,
So I
he
mean,
did really well.
it's always good to have a guy that's in love with the culture of the city and the team. That's just you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Yeah, got another chat with Kev. Run to Webby tomorrow. He's too famous. Look at you. You already come back from the pod, and you're already gonna be famous, man.
We're
Look
gonna
at
have
you.
a meetup in at the Pluckers bar.
Ah, there it is. If you want to meet Stevie, you'll be right there by the Pluckers, and what the Budweiser bar in Centerfield.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
I
there you
think
go.
before the game, I'm gonna definitely probably be at Woodrow's.
Ooh, look at that. He's just giving you all the info, people. So if you want to
So
meet,
if I don't see you there, Mister Kevin Cerna, you might have to start questioning this friendship that we have here. So
so if you want to meet Stevie and some of his friends, Woodrow's, maybe a beer's on him, or a bucket's on him, or a shots on
ooh,
him.
ooh.
Woodrow's, and then looks like he's gonna be in center field at the Budweiser bar as well as Pluckers. So you're giving away where everywhere you're gonna be, man.
And
So
then okay, well, with the annoying injuries out the way, let's move on to the Astros predictions. So, do you want me to read these, or you want to read the ones that you have put
so
in
this
there?
is what I had before Steban came on. This is what I projected. I mean, you can agree or you can throw your number two, Stebby, when I'm announcing this stuff. For the Astros win total this season, we will I see the Astros winning 88 games this season. I think some of the betting platforms have them like at 86, 86 and a half or 85 and a half. Uh, I think 88. This team has a bunch of pitching depth. If the offense stays healthy, especially Yordan Alvarez, if he stays healthy, I think they can easily go by then at least 88 games. Don't be surprised if they get to the 90 game mark. But your number, what do you say?
Let me see. I'm really trying to look at something. Honestly, with the pitching and everything, I feel like these guys could win. I feel like they could touch 90.
Oh, okay. So you got the 90 mark.
Yeah, because I mean, good pitching could get you a long way as long as you at least get 2 runs in, and if the pitchers could blank them, you win by 2-0, 1-0.
Mhm.
Sometimes the way baseball is, but if the pitchers could hold down their job, then obviously the offense is not going to need to do as much, and if they do more, then even better. But it's a lot of pitching with the Astros that on paper they should do well pitching wise. So I mean, especially with this offense, I think just especially after missing the postseason for so long for them, coming being in a winning environment, a winning city where the Astros are always a pain in everybody else's butt in the playoffs. It's like, you know, a lot of guys did not like that feeling of finally being out and not being in the picture. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was a new feeling for them. So you could just bet everybody was just kind of like embarrassed. Like, hey man, this is not the Houston way. This is not what we're used to. This is not what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? We're gonna hit it on all four.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a different season. It's going to be an important season, really, for Joe Spada too. In last year of his contract, as well as Dana Brown, and this season's very important for both of them, at least for their jobs on the line to try to get an extension, being with the Astros for a while, or if it doesn't go too well, then both of those guys will be looking for other jobs next season and not being with the Astros. But my camera went off. You can go ahead and say the next one since I got to fix Darth Vader on the other side and shit.
Right here, Yordan Alvarez will lead the team in home runs with 41 and finish in the top MVP voting. That's a pretty nice one right there that you put. Did you ask ChatGPT for that or what?
Hell nah, man. Come on. You know I gotta put my baseball instincts in there.
Yeah, no,
But
I could definitely see 40 home runs. That would be a nice one for sure. I mean, the power is there, but definitely I see Jordan 37 easily.
you so easily 37,
Yeah,
but um but not 40.
I mean, it could get there, but you know what I mean. From the previous seasons before, you know the way he's played in the
What's the
Houston,
highest he has
and then in the
reached, like his
season,
career high?
let me see. I have it right here. Give me a second.
Because I know you were looking for that earlier.
His highest he's hit was 37. So to hit 40 would be his highest ever.
Hmm. And
Because
back
in
because
20
Bagwell.
and 19 he had 27. 2020 only had one. 21 33, 22 37, 23 31, 24 35, and last year it's six only due to injuries.
Yeah, he just did not have the season that he wanted last year. Uh, as I am not Darth Vader anymore. I think Bagwell's record is like 47. I know Bags had talked about wanting Jordan to beat it so he can finally not have that record anymore. I don't think he'll get to 47 just because maybe there's going to be a day that he might not play, just needs a rest kind of thing. And that's why I see 41, even 41 home runs. That should be able to finish the type of hitter that he is in the top five AO MVP voting.
And
Because
another
you're still
hot
going to
take,
have Aaron Judge.
yeah,
You're still going to have him unless the injury happens, which we do not pray for injuries on this podcast. But
I'm pretty sure you're gonna have Acuna out there. And,
AL though,
oh yeah,
American League.
my bad. Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah,
I was
American
waiting
League.
for
You can put
so
you
Nick
could
Kurtz.
honestly put
Nick
Screwball if you
Kurtz.
want to. Nick Kurtz if he has a really good season. Cal Raleigh can maybe try to have another season that he had last year. Bobby Witt's another guy too. That's a
Somebody's
good
always gonna be there.
player.
Yeah.
Um, you really can't sleep on Julio Rodriguez either.
Nope.
So there's a lot of options that you can really put on with the American League voting. If we want to talk about specific players, I'm just trying to think of guys in the East, in the West, in the Central. Jose Ramirez, of course, another guy.
Yeah, definitely another guy that's always slept on.
Yeah, not to mention he signed another extension with the Guardians. He's gonna probably play there until he's 50 years old. But a franchise player that's gonna get his number retired as in a Guardian uniform. Shoot. So what do you think? You say 37 top five though. You do agree? He could finish in the top five AO MVP voting.
Definitely can. I mean, you got so according to Fox Sports, they got people that on the odds list. You know what I mean? You got Aaron Judge,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Witt,
Yep.
Kyle Raleigh,
Yep.
Roman Anthony, Nick Kurtz, Gunnar Henderson, Jose Ramirez, and Vladdy.
Vladdy's another guy that I can see that's on there.
Yeah.
Gunner, I'm really expecting him to have a bounce back season.
Yeah,
Honestly,
after the down year he had, yeah, I definitely think he'll be pretty good. Roman
uh,
Anthony, that's a long shot, but the kid does definitely have
that's
the
a that's
talent.
a like a that's a dark horse pick. Honestly,
Yeah, that is. But the kid does have talent. But if Yordan's primed to have a Yordan season, then he could be up there as well.
go put them bets in right now. If you're in Vegas, make sure you're putting that on the line.
Cam
So,
Smith, this guy, I think he'll be able to hit 20 home runs and 20 steals this season.
2020 candidate
Yes,
from
sir.
Stevie. We see the Cam Smith 2020 the number.
Yes,
Let me
yes.
real quick. I got to see how many stolen bases he had last season for the
For the
Astros. He had
Astros.
8.
Yeah. So I mean, I think,
You think the speed goes up this year?
yeah. Well, I mean, I mean, honestly, it's not even the speed. I mean, he's not the fastest, but he's not the slowest. But it's just, it's really off of like how you're gonna read, how you're gonna learn. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
agree.
you know why I say that because I want to say what's his name, Josh Naylor. I forgot. I think he had like 20
He had
steals.
30. No, he
30, yeah,
almost. I think he
30.
had 30 stolen
Yeah,
bases.
he had 30, I think, last season. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not really necessarily the wheels as well. Yeah, he did have 30 stolen bases. So
Oh,
it's like,
you're
bro,
checking it now. I was about to
yeah,
check.
30, and that's a hefty fella right there. You know what I mean? 235 pounds.
And nobody just expected him to steal bases though. Too. That was the other thing. He had good jumps. Not to
Yeah,
mention.
that's what I'm saying. If you know how to read your jump and time it up, then there's no reason why Cam should not be able to be swiping bags in the big league. The
So
guy's not slow.
so the power goes up, and the stolen base number goes up. I do like that one. 2020 from Cam Smith in his second season as an MLB player. Love that take, Stevie. Love the take. Uh, Jerry Pena will play 162 games this season.
Definitely, I can see that.
If he wasn't injured last year because of that broken rib and the tail end of the season where he missed that whole series, I think against Seattle, he would have played the 162, and he was on track honestly to play the 162. So for him, he can honestly be an all-star candidate too. Not to mention
Yeah, definitely
Tatsuya
all
Imai.
star. Look, and I think there's no way that you don't see three Astros in the All Star game, and by three being, I'm saying Imai for sure being in there.
Okay,
I'm seeing Pena being in there,
okay.
and Yordan. If Yordan has a good season, then I don't see why he wouldn't be a DH.
Yeah, because that's honestly his spot to lose. He's
Yeah,
always getting the DH spot in the American League, especially with Shohei Ohtani not in the American League no more. It's usually either him. It's really honestly just him. I don't know
yeah.
who got it last year.
I'll search that up right now.
Uh, when he's looking that up, I'll go 5. I think the Astros will have Hunter Brown in there.
Oh, I
I
forgot
think
about him. Yeah, so yeah, definitely
so. You
Astros.
want 4 now?
Yeah, I want four, so 100 for sure. Yeah, my
I'll
bad.
go
I
5.
forgot about that.
I'll go Tatsuya Imai. I'll go Hunter Brown. I'll go Jeremy Pena, the big fella, Yordan Alvarez, and I think
Oh
Jose
yeah, so
Altuve returns again.
it was Ryan O'Hearn. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely Jordan will be there in the All Star game at DH.
if he plays
Yeah,
a
if he
healthy
plays
season,
well. Yeah, play a healthy season.
and I'm gonna put Jose Altuve. I think Jose Altuve gets back in the All Star game. I
Today,
think he's like 2 away from. I know he passed Craig Biggio, but I'm trying to find the the All Star. Man, I wish I can. You can search it for me if you like,
yeah,
or I can search it.
I definitely take Altuve over Gleyber Torres. You know what I mean? That's who was the
Yeah,
second base. So yeah. You want me to see how many All Star?
yeah. Who has the most All Stars as a second baseman in the American League?
Okay, I got you.
Either or just put baseball in general. I think Ryan Sandberg has the most. I want to say, but I'm not 100% sure.
So most All Stars you have at second baseman you got Rod Carew 18, Neely
Oof.
Fox 13, Roberto Alomar 12, Ryan Sandberg 10, and Joe Morgan 10.
And Altuve has 8 or 9. I
Let me
think
see.
he has 8. I thought he was on the verge of getting that. I guess not. For sure, it'd
So
be
no,
Biggio.
Altuve is 9.
Oh, so he has 9.
Yeah, he'll definitely get.
So
Get the, yeah,
he'll
he'll get
get
the
that
10.
double. I believe he could get the double digit
Yeah,
this
he'll
year
get the 10.
with 10. Uh, Real quick, Imai. We've been talking a lot about him. Speaking of the All Star game, we'll talk about him. I believe he could finish in the top 5 Rookie of the Year. I would like to say 3, but there's some rookie class really from coming into the seasons really well for the National League at least. Got a lot of good talent coming,
2026 Ricky.
but I think he might could finish top 5. I know the Astros had like a good trend of having guys in the top 3 in the Rookie of the Year for the American League. So maybe he might gets that trend back on top for the Astros to continue that trend and start the new one. You have the All Star, not All Star, the rookies for the American League.
Well, you're gonna have. I could see him taking it away, honestly, in my because I mean,
Who you
you
got?
got Basalo. You got Basalo. He's gonna be there for
Oh
sure.
yeah. So
And then you got Savage from Toronto. So it's a guy that already kind of put his ground already and
yeah,
implemented in the big
Trey
leagues.
Savage.
Very
Uh-huh.
Savage. You got Murakami, which I don't see. Like I know Murakami's good, but I don't
And
see his
Murakami
future.
is the DH or the third baseman for the White
Yeah,
Sox,
third
correct?
base slash DH. Yeah, he's the one that came from Japan as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okamoto's another guy from the Blue
you
Jays.
got McCongle, Kevin McCongle, and then Cole Emerson, which Coach Emerson is a pretty good player. So I can see
Cole
it, Cole
Emerson, what?
Emerson being top 3.
Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but other than that,
yeah, he has honestly a great chance.
I don't think Connor Griffin made it to the.
He's National League though. He'd be with
Yeah,
the
yeah, okay.
Pirates. So yeah, there's a good shot he can even finish top 3. Top 5 looks
Yeah,
like it's a gimme.
yeah, nah, definitely top 3. I see it. I could see. I mean, honestly, I could see him running away with it.
He just has to have a good
Yeah, he has
he
to
has to
have
have
a
a good
good.
season.
Yeah, but not, you never know because it's a new baseball for him as well. He never
Mhm.
pitched with an MLB ball before, so it's a big difference. The ball might have less spin, the ball have more spin. You just never know. And then
True.
he's playing different elevations over here as well, going to different ballparks. You just never know how it's gonna play for him.
That's very true. You have any more left? Do you want to finish off with the last one?
Hunter Brown wins the Cy Young.
I do not opposed to it. I honestly think he has a great shot, and I think it's honestly is going to be back to those guys again from the last season. I think it's going to be between Garrett Crochet. It's going to be between Tariq Skubal is always going to be up there. I think a dark horse.
I think Scuba will have a down year. Not down down, but not enough to run away with the Cy Young.
Yeah, back to back Cy Youngs is already hard enough. Just imagine
Yeah,
trying to win 3 in a row.
three
I
in a
think
row.
that's
That would be pretty crazy. Which he does have the stuff, but I just Hunter Brown's hungry, and I think he's really gonna. That's what he wants.
and
He
then,
already got a taste of finishing in votes, and he wants to cross that line.
since you're saying that the Astros need to figure out a way to retain Jeremy Pena. We talked about him being an all-star and
Yeah,
playing 162, and now you're saying Hunter Brown with the Cy Young winning the Cy Young. The Astros need to find a way to kind of get these guys some extensions already.
yeah, definitely. Because Hunter Brown's gonna be pricey. Pena's gonna be pricey depending on the season he has.
Yeah, so
Which
mean,
and you could tell Astros don't really like paying their guys, which tip the cap to Tucker because that man got paid
mhm, definitely got paid 60. If I'm not mistaken,
a year, right?
40 or 60. One of them. It's a big ass number. Uh, okay, so I can see that. I'm gonna put this one on. I don't know if this will be our last take or Stebby got one more. Astros will win the American League West, however, will not make the World Series. What do we think about that?
Um, I think they can make it. I think they can make it back to the World Series.
So back to the Fall Classic, the Astros go.
Yeah, with this
Okay.
pitching.
The pitching that they
I mean,
have.
I just and then the hitters, dude. They're too good. Like they really are too good. You know, Pena, he showed some good flashes last year. Christian Walker, you know what he can do, which I feel like that will come out this season. With the healthy Yordan, he'll be there. With Altuve just, you know, being Altuve, he doesn't need to do crazy home run things. He just needs to get on base, which I believe he will.
Mhm.
Paredes was starting to show some things last year in Houston too. So I mean, Correa as well. You know, Correa is just an overall good hitter. Only thing is the other outfielders. Is Cam gonna step up? Is Jake Myers gonna step up? Because Jake Myers, you know, he could be a good hitter, or he
Mhm.
could be a pop up guy.
All right, I can see that. I can see. I can see. Honestly, I can see them in the Fall Classic. I think it's between them and the Mariners.
Yeah,
I see as the World Series matchup being the Mariners and the Dodgers. I know this is an Astros podcast. I'm
yeah.
not being biased, and I just Seattle's a really good team. They got
And the
their
pitching
butts.
staff's there.
Yeah, they got their butts whipped in Game 7 of the ALCS. How do you think they feel?
Yeah,
So I think they made their first trip to the Fall Classic. Uh, a lot of Astros fans are probably gonna give me heat about that, but I mean, I'm just not being biased here. I think Seattle really has a good chance. They really got the same team, if I'm not mistaken, from last season too. So
well then they got
and then
rid of
you and then they
Polanco.
added Brendan Donovan too.
Polanco left.
Oh, Polanco left. I mean, you add Brendan Donovan, which is
Yeah.
still not a bad player.
Hmm.
Maybe first base is the only. Well, no, Josh Naylor's resigned.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the more the weaker link that I see with the Astros, honestly, is which can be or cannot be is just kind of Yiner. How's Yiner gonna play?
Hmm. Yeah,
Because you know
that's what we talked about.
some days he's an easy out, and then some days he's a tough out.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Yiner could be a solidified catcher in this season, then that'll really help the Astros a lot.
Got to be a consistent hitter in this game,
Because
especially
last
on
season,
here.
once it got past the four guys, you're just like, all right, well, what's gonna happen with the rest of the lineup? Is it easy outs or that's another reason why Astros had so many runners left on base last season because after the top three guys would get on, it's just like, all right, nothing really there, no spark.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with you. Can he be a consistent hitter? Can Kai-Wei-Teng be uh, a consistent pitcher and control his command? Can Lance McCullers Jr. have a healthy season? Can Hunter Brown continue following his success from last season? A lot of what ifs, a lot of figuring out to see how this Astros team will play in 2026. Look at that. Kevin's ready for the free drinks, Stevie. He's ready. So,
I think he's
he,
offering.
oh, he's offering. So if he's offering, I mean, shoot, everybody's going to be meeting up him. Everybody going to meet that boy over there. But yeah, hour 19 of this special episode of Opening Day 2026 is finally here. Baseball season is finally here. And the predictions, of course, we had just thrown down um, at the end of our show. I think it was a good crowd tonight. I'm honestly excited that baseball is finally back. Not Dodgers, Giants, and the Yankees had started the season off. Now, tomorrow, the rest of the league will be able to play the whole 2026 season. But at the bottom, that's where you can find all of our content with TikTok and Twitter X Full Steam Ahead, FSA Full Steam Ahead on Instagram, Full Steam Ahead on YouTube, and then on the podcast platforms. You got Spotify, you got Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We are there. Like, rate, subscribe, follow, download, and leave some feedback. Give us some stars. Appreciate each and every single one of you. Yes, we didn't get opening day tickets this year to give out for a giveaway, but hey, we're still going to be doing some giveaways throughout the season. We're probably going to do an April giveaway regarding tickets since we didn't get to do opening day this season. Hopefully, we'll get a giveaway for tickets in April for any matchup. So we'll check it out. We'll see what we can do in our in our way to give back to our peoples. Stevie, you got anything? Final words, final thoughts.
Well, here's to another good season, hopefully for the Astros, and 187 days of baseball back. And for those who celebrate opening day, well, here's a little tip of the cap. I don't have a cap on, but it'd be nice to see a lot of y'all out there this season supporting the Astros.
Yeah, a lot, and a lot of baseball coming your way. And just to remind people, Space City Home Network Plus on the app is there. So just in case you are out and about, you can watch the game at home. Well, they got the app. I think it's like 19.99 a month.
That boy
Yearly.
Sengun bleeding right now.
Say it again.
Sengun.
Ah, Rockets update from Stebby.
They're going to overtime, but
against the Wolves.
A bloody lip. Hold on.
Oh, finally, he has to continue playing well. But I think the yearly subscription is like two something, or at 200.
Astros, Rockets.
Comes with the Rockets.
And does it come with Texans too now or no?
No, it's just Rockets and Astros.
Rockets and Astros.
Yeah, so just a heads up for all our listeners that's not in the Houston area. I'm pretty sure you can get it on MLB TV, but if you're in the Houston area, I think the eastern part of New Mexico, the western part of Louisiana, and the southern part of Oklahoma, I think they got like a shot to still get the Space City Home Network Plus. I got the map on one of the Chase the Flight episodes, so on our YouTube page, if you wanted to see a little bit more, or if you want to go through Google and see, or even try to figure out where the designated areas are for that platform, like I said, it's on our YouTube channel. And if you want to search on the internet, it's on the internet somewhere. So,
or you could just get Fubu.
Or you get Fubu like Steban.
Hey, Fubu comes in clutch, especially around football season too. With the Sunday football pass, whatever.
Sunday ticket.
Yeah,
something
Sunday
like that.
ticket, something like that. One of the red zone.
Red Zone, yeah, that's what it is. Started off with the banger pod. We appreciate it, and just appreciate each and every single one of y'all. Like we said, giveaways be coming throughout this season. The season 2 for us, hopefully, with God's plan, that we'll be able to be on every series like we tried doing every single season. Of course, there's work, there's family matters. We got our own personal lives, so we're gonna do our best. Of course, like each and every season that we do.
Some cool little episodes this season. Maybe, we might have some more restaurant collabs or
restaurant collabs. Yeah, well, we're gonna still try to see if we get our spot at Big City Wings. Maybe Stebby wants to rip some packs on some Tops cards. You never know. I know there's another guy out there we know very well that has a bunch of cards. We're not gonna say what kind of cards, but he has a bunch of cards. Maybe we do some fun ones like Steban said this season. So really want to get that content out there for our YouTube channel, and we can try to get to 500. I really would love to see that. We're at 461 right now, and we would love to be at 500. What day you want to try, Tari? End of April, end of May? I think it's doable.
I think before May.
Before May, so end of April. We want to get to 500 subscribers. If we get to 500 YouTube subscribers, you don't do it. You don't even subscribe to us now. Make sure you do that. And if we do,
grab your grandma's iPhone, your grandma's iPad, your nephew's iPad, go down anybody's TV in the house and log in and hit the subscribe. Everybody.
See,
get your manager's phone.
Get your work phone.
The work laptop, whatever, anything. Just
hit that subscribe button. Look at that. We might for 500 subscribers, we will do a big giveaway. I don't know what it will be. We're gonna figure it out. But first, we got to get to 500 subscribers. Like Steban said, if we get at the end of April, we'll figure something out. We'll do a big giveaway, and we're just going to show our appreciation for each and every one of y'all.
Yes, sir.
But till then, y'all stay safe. We'll give you that preview. More than likely, it's going to be a Sunday podcast episode. The the recap of you see it's been a while. Recap of that Angel series and then get that preview of the Boston series. So till then, y'all stay safe and we'll talk to y'all soon.